What's up, guys? How are you guys doing? Hope the sequences lesson wasn't too difficult. It was long, I know, but it was necessary. Okay, so next we're going to look at effect controls, and like I told you, we're going to be using the existing footage from cutting out dead spaces from using the result tool. We're still going to make use of this footage. Okay, I told you. So if you've not done it, you'll be kind of lost. What I'm doing is not going to be a new thing for you. So just drag this and drop into to create a new sequence. And we're going to use this and we're going to look at effect controls today. Okay. If you look at this text here, it shows it's saying no clip selected, which means it's because we've not selected any clip in our timeline. Okay. So if we should now select this, you see all these weird things pop out. And one thing to note is that every video you have, even the ones you worked on before, always has a particular fixed effect. All these ones are if the effects that come with any video or image you put into or import into Premiere Pro by default. Okay, so if you go back to maybe this was one I worked on, and I still click select on any clip, it still has it. Okay, if I don't select on any clip, you see those clips selected, but if I should select on this, you can see the same effects properties. It has it. Okay, if you go back to lesson one, my video, it comes with it. Any of the videos you go through, you click on, or any of the image you bring into Premiere Pro has this effects panel by default, has all this motion, opacity, time mapping, and also the audio effects, volume, channel volume, and panel. So we'll be looking at the basic ones. Okay, so you can add other effects eventually. Yeah, from the effects panel, I could just search for it and you look for effects and it comes up. Okay, so you can add other effects if you want to, but I don't think we need to do that now. We'll come into and look at it maybe either at the end of this lesson or maybe if time permits and maybe in another class. So let's go back to our task. This is it. So I think I can close this. Then we can begin to look at some of this. So we have the motion bar. Let's open it up. And under the motion bar, you look at all this. You look at motion, you look at position, you look at scale, and scale width is grayed out. You look at rotation, you look at the anchor point, you look at the anti-flicker, then you look at crop. These were new features that were added in Premiere Pro, I think about 2 years ago. So initially, crop was not among this, but it used to be an effect you could drag from the effects control. It used to be here. Then we have the opacity, we have the time mapping, and the volume. Yeah. So just quick one. The position is just like I said, is to put your video into perspective. Okay. So I'm gonna close some of this so it doesn't disturb us. Yeah. So your position kind of helps you move clips. I'm just gonna move this. You can move this to the left and you move this up and down. Okay. So vertical, horizontal. So left, right, up, down. Okay. Yeah. So and it helps you move your what do you call it? Your video or image or anything you import or text in the particular place you want it to go in. Okay. Then scale, as you mean, scale is to either increase or reduce. Okay. What's your character? Okay. So you can see I'm reducing, I'm increasing. All right. So it's just how it works. Okay. Yeah. Then you can see the scale width is grayed out. And most of the time you would be using this, okay, because your videos have to be symmetrical in such a way that, for instance, if I should untick this and you have your scale width, it can either get too stretched and it might not be looking as realistic again or natural. Yeah, so that's why you have to keep it at uniform scale most of the time. You can see this versus this. If I should untick, it looks like it's a little bit compressed, and if I should keep it uniform, it's looking like it's now normal. So I'm gonna go back to this and but so there are sometimes you might want to use this feature maybe for rare occasions. We'll get to that maybe when it comes to maybe shapes or something like that. Or if you want to do an effect, I don't think anybody wants that kind of effects, but this is what it does. Okay, yeah, this is what it does for you. So you can actually go like this. So you can make if you untick this, you might make this mistake, and your client, trust me, your clients will not be happy with this. Imagine your clients gave you this kind of video and you were doing your video and you didn't check it and you sent it and you didn't know you ticked this. Okay, so it's uniform scale helps you. So that's why most of the time it's always like this. So I'm just going to reset this back. So uniform scale, that's just what the scale property does. The rotation, like I said, is to rotate, like the name implies, of course, just to rotate your clips. And if you're wondering why it's not yet moving automatically, you are doing it. You are coming to that. Okay, so this is your reset button in case maybe you move things, clip up and up, you move clips the wrong way, and maybe you're trying to reset it. You can just come here and reset. You get, so that's just it. And the anchor points. The anchor point is this small blue circle here. Okay, this is where your anchor point is. This is what is called the anchor point. And an anchor point is kind of a point where you can place where you can tell Premiere Pro that you want this video to come from this area. Okay, so maybe we'll get to that shortly when I start show you how to animate the properties. Okay, so but your anchor point too, most times it stays in the middle. It stays in the middle most times, but sometimes you might want to move this maybe in such a way that maybe if your video is scaling from here now, your anchor point makes it possible for you to kind of put the video here so it starts scaling from here. You get this makes more sense, right? Yeah, so instead of it scaling from the middle, if you want to put it here, let's reset your rotation again and the scale and position, reset the anchor point. If you want to maybe scale from, you want it to go in this direction now, you can just place the anchor point here. So instead of moving from the midpoint and going down like this, it goes from the side. So let's scale again. You can see it. So this is what the anchor point tool does, and it's very handy. It's a very handy tool too. It comes in very handy. So most times I've never really used it for the videos, but like I said, it comes in handy once in a while. I rarely use it. Okay, so and you can maybe if you would go into the advanced class when we learn about After Effects, you might also know how this thing works. Okay, so you see it in its full glory. It really helps, literally. Then the crop left, crop top, crop right, crop bottom is just you either cutting out some parts of your video. So I'm just going to do this instead of explaining. So this is crop left. You can crop it out maybe to the left. Maybe if you want to hide something, or you just want to do an effect, or you want to crop the top, you can see it. So this is not looking good. So let's just do left. Let's do right. Let's do bottom. Let's just do top. So you can see how your video is now. So you can move back to the right. You can move bottom. You can move back the top and left. So this is just the effects. Okay. For your cropping tools. Then for the opacity, yeah. For the opacity, you have like this is just, it has this kind of effect. And if you use Premiere Pro 2026, these effects are no longer there. Okay, this is like for your masking tools, but we'll come back to this. But the main opacity is just this, and it's to reduce or increase how opaque or transparent your video would be. Okay, so the opposite of opacity is transparency, literally. Okay, so if it's 100% opaque, it means it is 0% transparent. So you can't see anything. There's nothing you can see through it. So, but if you reduce on our video, underneath our video is just a black background. Okay, so if you reduce your opacity, your video is fading out and it becomes darker. Okay, if for example, let's say I'm going to move this up now, and I'll move this up and get this video now from my lesson 1 and add underneath to show you how the opacity works. I don't want it to spoil my audio, so I'm going to unlink and delete the audio. And currently this video of this young lady is 100% opaque. Okay, so it means you can't see what's underneath my video. You can't see this video now. But if I'm trying to reduce it, it's now 87% opaque. You can start seeing my video underneath is showing. Okay, you can see then it's fading into my video as the opacity is going down, and it's now at 0. You can't see anything. you can't see anything again. So that's just what your opacity effect is used for. You can use it to change how transparent or how opaque your video can look. I've placed this video on top, so it's 100% opaque too. Like I told you, every video or every asset you import into Premiere Pro has these features, so you don't need to be scared about maybe looking for how to add it. Okay, so then if I should reduce the opacity, my video becomes opaque, less transparent, and the lady's video, the one underneath, comes into view. You get? So that's just basically what you need to do. Okay, then time remapping. So we're gonna delete this. Let's go back to our main video. So time remapping is a very tricky video. It deals with the speed, okay? It deals with the speed of a video, okay, and I think I'll leave this one for now because I would need to show you a more practical video where you can use it. Okay, so it has its own mechanism. It's different from this. Okay, it's just to control how fast or slow your video goes. Basically, let me just call it that. But it's a bit more complicated than that. Yeah, but basically that's what it means. Okay, so I will show you where you can how to do it eventually. And you can see these are effects. These are effects. Sorry, these effects. Once you see an FX in your Premiere Pro clip on your Premiere Pro timeline, just know it's an effect. Okay, so this is FX and effects, FX time mapping, FX volume. And why I said this is because if you should zoom in on this, you would see something called FX here. Okay, there's an FX for effects, and currently it's at the opacity or opacity. Or for the audio effects too, this is where your volume, your audio, your channel volume works in. And I think for now, you should just be concerned with the volume, okay? And this increases how your volume or reduces how loud your video is, okay? So the 0.9 dB, dB stands for decibels, okay? Decibels is just volume, okay? But it's the professional name for volume. So okay, increase the volume is just decibels or they're talking about. So that's what it means. Okay, so if it should be at 0 normally, okay? And if you're increasing it, you're now adding more audio gain. You're adding more gain to the audio, okay? Of course, so
the average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at
you can mute
their
it.
screens.
It mutes, okay?
Too.
So
and making you reach for your phone the
reduce,
millisecond that you start to feel bored. 20 years ago,
or
if you
you
wonder
can
what
reduce.
they could probably tell you all sorts of
So
things. Dance classes, maybe they're into gardening.
this is just what your audio effect is used for. You don't necessarily need this one now. You don't need this. I don't think you need this.
Or crochet, or they really enjoy volunteering at their local community center. All sorts of interesting hobbies.
You can use this to move from maybe your left channel. It's also an effect. Maybe you're trying to move. I'm on headphones currently, so when I did this, the volume moves
I've noticed that when I ask people what their hobbies are, they don't really know how to respond.
If you notice what's happening here, as I'm adjusting the bypass channel volume, as I'm adjusting this, I'm going to reset this. These
like,
are my
audio hobbies.
Audio channels. So once I play this,
social media has trained our brain.
The left and the right channel. This is what I'm going to adjust this a little bit. This is your left and your right channel. Okay, so left ear, right ear. So once I'm playing this,
to crave
and both of them are playing now, they are at equal capacity.
Anything slower will almost certainly feel
now. But once I begin to adjust the channel volume,
really dull.
Maybe to the left, more to the left than the right. The left channel starts going lower, and more audio is playing at the right. So
let's do this. Retrain your brain to be able to focus and enjoy the real world.
So the audio is coming from the right hand side now,
live in the present and start
than the left hand side.
If you're new here, I'm Izzy, a mum, tech founder, and Cambridge trained doctor. And on this channel, we explore these strategies and mindsets.
So the one on the right is going down.
Dream life. Feel free to
hit the left channel is working.
That's what you're into.
So
today we're diving into hobbies that will help you to stop scrolling.
We'll look at a couple of these, not all of them, and once we do that, you would do the rest by yourself and just play around some of these things. Okay, so we're going to create an effect with this. So now we've gone through this. How do we animate? Which is the main lesson. So to keyframe this, we're just gonna let's move from up to down. I don't know if I'll touch all of them. But let's work with the position, scale, and rotate. But let's start from the motion properties first of all. That's the position, scale, rotation. Now, initially I told you you can move this up and move this down, move this to the left and right, move this up, down, scale this in and out. Yeah, so then we can reset with this. Now, to make our videos move, just look at this stopwatch icons around very close to the position text, the scale text, and the text, and you can see all of them have stopwatch, and it's simply to toggle your animation. So by toggling your animation, I just mean you kind of turn on the effects so you can now animate. So once you click on this, it means the animation is toggled on. Okay, so, and if you noticed, I'm going to turn this off again. I'm going to delete a keyframe. So by toggling this animation operation on and off, once I toggle it on, it means I created a keyframe for this. You get? So once I do this, you can see something else. Oh, something else is created here. This. Okay, I'm going to delete this again and come to the middle and create it so you can see it properly. So it creates this small button. So it's recognizing that this has created a keyframe. Now, if you use CapCut Mobile or any other editing software, keyframes are essential part of editing. So this should not be strange to you. So, but this is how it's done on Premiere Pro. Okay. So I'm gonna delete this. So we want to animate, let's say from what should we do now? Let's move from left to right. So okay. I'm trying to make this, thinking of way it's going to make it easy for you. Okay, let's just move from here to here. Okay, and our clip is going to move sides from here to here. So I want to move from, let's say, here, from the middle where it is now, down to this area. Okay, so let's start from that. So I'm going to reset. So I have to create a keyframe by toggling this, and I move to any place I want the animation to stop. Maybe let's say I drag this and I want it to stop at the
average person now spends.
I stop here, then move this to the right, and you can see as I'm moving this to the right, it's created another keyframe, and it's also showing me some of this keyframing position line, which means this is the direction it's going to go in. Okay, so I want it to go in this direction. If I wanted it to go in this direction, it's going to go like this. So it's taking this point, and you can see what our anchor point is doing. So it's moving it from this point in the middle, and that's created a keyframe for this point. Do you get? So if I should play this from the beginning again,
the average person now spends 7 hours.
You can see it's moved to the left. You can see. So if I want to move this maybe from the left,
the average person now spends 7 hours
to the right.
7
hours a day staring at their screen. So I want to move back to the right or back to this way. Maybe slightly to the right. I can now create another keyframe or move this position property, move it to the right. And when I move it to the right, it goes. You can see. So let's see what we just created. Let's see the magic we created.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens.
So nice. And that's how you do an animation in Premiere. So I don't think this was difficult, right? You just create, and maybe let's say we want to make as she's talking, we can take it down. It doesn't make sense, but we're practicing keyframing now. We don't necessarily need to get the design right for now. This is not acceptable in editing, but we can do this just to show you this lesson. So let's see.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because...
So you can see, let's move it back. We can even, if you want, maybe like reset the video like how we do initially, it's also going to keyframe it this time around. So let's say we want to move it back to how it was in the beginning. That's like this. And we are here. We can just either reset this and it goes back, or you can copy and also paste this. So only one. So now let's look at what we did.
The average person now spends
fast forward this
7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because I've been there too.
So you can see,
this to shame anyone because I've been there too.
We've successfully animated our position properties. Now the scaling, let's add the scale too. So for the scale, let's see. Let's say as it's moving to the left, we could like the scale is at 100 now. Let's say we keyframe our scale, toggle the animation, which makes a keyframe. Then as it's moving to the left, we can go down a little bit. So initially when it was at 100, it was going to the left, so it was looking one side. So maybe we can try to, let's see, zoom out a little bit so we can see the entire video still. So let's see what it does. So from the beginning again.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens.
Can you see how your video is moving? And I don't say this
to shame anyone because I've been there too. And making you reach for your phone.
So I can also see, and while it's there, let's see, we can, then maybe it's at 57. It's at 57 currently. So we can now, let's say, once it gets to this place, we can zoom out so it becomes really, really small.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't.
Then maybe while it's here, it can start coming back up again.
Day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because I've been there too. And
then maybe when it gets here,
making you
we can now scale to 100 again. But we can even reset, and we're good. So we have
the average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because I've been there too. And making you reach for your phone the millisecond that you start to feel bored. 20 years ago, if you asked someone what their hobbies were.
So, and that's how you keyframe. And you notice I wasn't using this most of the time. So I wasn't hovering through my timeline here. I was using this place, this area. So this is just like a mini version. This video task is a mini version of this. Okay. So, but it kind of gives you a point where you can see your video and what you're working on. Do you get? So that's just how it works. So you can expand this here to see what you're keyframing and get the exact points instead of working with here. Okay, here can also work. So it's almost something, because if you see once I'm moving here, as I'm moving here, it's also moving here to moving also here. So if I adjust here, it adjusts here. My CTI is also like here is also here. Okay, of course my time indicator, that's what CTI stands for. Your current time indicator, it's in your keyboard shortcut. Okay, so you can download it. It's on the community too. So now our rotation, let's add the rotation. I think we'll do this in detail, do something else. This is not a nice work. Okay, I'm just doing a rough work for you so you can see how the animations work. Okay, so then for animation, for the rotation, let's toggle the rotation also.
The average person.
And let's say rotates by 90 degrees as before it gets to this place. So let's just click and go 90. So it's now, let's see. So let's see.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because
So that's how it is. So then we can expand this. Let's see our keyframe ends. So then maybe before it gets to the end, we rotate to 180.
I've been there too.
Then before it gets here, we can reset to. So
the average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because I've been there too. And making you reach for your phone,
and your rotation is done. We've added the rotation to our video. So the anchor point, this is gonna be tricky now because I think our anchor point should have started from the first. So I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna come back to this so it doesn't mess up our keyframe and everything. Okay, so like I said, you already use this. I just showed you what it's used for. Okay, but I'm going to show you in a little bit. I don't know what anti-flicker is used for. I've never used it before. Maybe I'll check it out eventually. Then for the crop, this is just maybe, let's say your video.
The average person now spends 7 hours.
Let's just do it. I wanted to remove the scale properties so you can see how it works to the fullest, but let's just work with this. So we are gonna let's do all of them. Let's keyframe all of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it creates a keyframe.
The average person.
Then while it's scaling and rotating, we can crop to the left. So this is going to go back. This is going to go back. And this is going to go left, and this is going to come from the top down. And this, so I'm going to just, while it goes here, I'm going to move to the left so you can see my crop tools. Then the right, of course, move to the right. It's looking like an Instagram reel video now, but this is not the way to do it. I'm just showing you what the animation does. Then the top, of course. Okay, let's do this, and the bottom, of course. So let's see.
The average person now spends 7 hours.
So you can see, then while it's going, the top, we adjust the top again and the bottom so it shows the character to the full character. So let's see.
Average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens.
So while it's coming back,
and I don't say this to shame anyone,
we can now move back to the left.
I've been there.
Then move back to the right. Sorry.
Too. And making you reach for your phone.
Something is off. Okay. Then our top is still not done. And our bottom is on the left. So, and our video
now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because I've been there too. And making you reach your phone.
So you can see how we just did an animation, a 5-second animation, right? Okay, 5 to 10, that was about an 8-second animation.
The average person now spends 7
hours. You can see how many keyframes are in this video.
A day.
So you can see our anchor point, and he's going through a lot of things. So it's moving, it's scaling, it's rotating, it's doing a lot of things at the same time. So that's just how you animate your videos. Okay, that's how you animate, and it's not.
And I don't say this to
I don't think this is difficult, and it's fun. Okay, now I just told you how to do it. Okay, so let's add our opacity. Actually, I'm not gonna do this now. Let's add our opacity, and let's see. Let's say it's when it goes, we're gonna of course keyframe. Let's keyframe from the middle. So it's, I don't want it to start at the beginning. Once it goes down, we can now we've made our keyframe here. Then it goes down. I now scale down to 0, and I just keyframed. I reduced the opacity of the video. So, but you can see the audio.
7 hours a day staring at.
Then you increase, so it goes down.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens.
So we can even do like a flicker kind of effect. So we can just try and let's increase this, adjust it a bit, and move this closer so it goes off 0 and 100, very close by.
Spends
then 0 again, or not 0 this time. Let's do 14.
7 hours
100
a day.
14 or 13.
Day.
100.
Yes.
You can also type the numbers 13.
Staring.
100. So you get and you keep on making this one, like, so you get this kind of effect.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens.
So you can see. And I think you can also copy and paste this. So you can see, you can just copy and paste it.
And I don't say this to shame anyone because I've been there too. And making you.
So you can see what the effect does. Okay, so I'm just showing you what it does. Don't ever use this video like this, or don't ever use keyframes like this and send to your clients. They will fire you. Okay, as if you ever get hired. So I'm just showing what it does. There are ways to use this, or creative ways to use it. I don't think you've watched any video where they do something like this. All right, so is there anything we need to work out? We need to understand. Okay, let's do the audio effects too and add something like that. So let's move
the average.
Let's keep from the levels.
Person now
and reduce this by, let's say, 25.
Spends 7 hours.
And you increase it again. Just call it 0. So it goes. You can see what it's doing at the effect here too. It's showing you it's moving from here. It goes down. It comes up again. You get, so This one shows you the audio effects.
The average person now spends 7 hours a day staring
So you can also reduce this minus again. It goes down again.
at their screens. And I don't say this
Then once you increase, it's going to go up. Once you move back to 0, so 0. So
the average person now spends 7 hours a day staring at their screens. And I don't say this to shame anyone because I've been there too. And making you reach for your
so you can see, I have literally touched on everything. I don't even know which instrument to give you again. Okay, so I shouldn't have touched everything seriously. So, but that's all it's about keyframes. It's not difficult. Okay, then of course you can do some of these effects here. You can actually adjust this. If you look at, I'm gonna delete this. This is just like a bonus lesson for you. If you want to use maybe just adjust the volume from here, you can just hit, let's adjust, increase this a bit so you can see what you want to do for well. You can reduce your volume from here. Okay, these effects, you can reduce your volume from here and you're not hearing it again. Then once your white arrow turns to black, it means you've touched it. You can access it, okay, so that you can increase it again to maybe 0 or just adjust it. And you can see as you're reducing and adjusting, it's also affecting this. Okay, so you can just call this 0. Okay, and then if you want to do that stuff, you want to keyframe, you can just come to when it shines black, hold Control till your cursor is white and has a plus. So it means you're going to put a keyframe kind of. You click on it. Maybe if you want this to move from low to high, and you do this. So from here,
the average person
nothing is happening here now, but you can now drag this down. And you can see it has reflected here already too.
person now spends 7
So it
hours a
goes
day
up.
staring at their screens. And I don't say this to
So that's just that's the one way to do it from here. Okay, and this is how most times this is how we do either the opacity for now for the video, also in FX. You can also see your keyframes. You can see keyframes for the opacity here because that is what is selected currently on your video. Okay, if you click on the position, you might see other keyframes too, like I told you. So, well, if you should click on the opacity, the default is always in opacity most of the times, because if you click this, you can always bring your video down. It goes off, okay, but then if you bring it up, it goes up again. So, but I'm not going to do that now. So you can adjust some of these settings here. And this is where we actually use the time remapping effects most of the time for the speed, but we'll come to that later on. Okay, so this is what all you need to know about effects controls. Okay, then
the average
I think about to give for assignments because I don't know. I think I've touched on all these things. Okay, then let's just to delete all of this. You can just delete. It's going to warn you this action will delete existing keyframe. Do you want to continue? Just click OK. It removes every single keyframe. So I can just delete all my keyframes, and I can don't show this again, but I don't want to. So yeah, so remove my opacity, volume, and I'm just going to reset all this. Okay, reset. So that's basically it. Okay, so I told you we're just playing around with keyframes, but in the real sense, if I was to work on this video, I might just play the video again. I'm still on mute.
the average person now spends.
So I could just do the average person. I might just scale it up by 120. Okay, so I might just do position my keyframe, properties, zoom in a little bit, then
The average person
now spends, and I can just move this up a bit, just slightly up to like 120. I said 120, right? Maybe bring this down a bit. So I don't want it to be so much, just a slight animation, just a slight motion to show you that okay, this video is there. Okay, so that it moved. So
the average person now spends
something like this is very okay and very professional. Okay, you don't even need to add this for any reason. You don't need to. Sometimes you might want, maybe if you're trying to like try something else, maybe do a style, you could do this. So this is going to end at 0. Then maybe you can just toggle this a little bit. You see, but this is where I have issues with. So maybe it does like this. It now means you have to like scale up is way bigger than we expected. So let's
The average person now spends
something like this. Then it means we have to go down to 100. And of course, reset this too. So let's see.
the average person now spends
It's not bad. That's if you want to add rotation.
the average person
But most of the time, you don't need rotation. So I'm going to undo. One other thing to know about keyframes or your effect controls is how to ease. And easing is another part of the keyframe where you have to kind of like ease your animations in. So it moves in, you can control the tempo, the velocity. Either it moves in fast or slow. The one way to do it is to move your keyframes so they are very close to each other. But that's not easing. That's just to adjust how fast it goes. So if I should,
the average person now
it's moving slowly like this now. So
the average person
because I wanted it to end here. So, but if I can bring this closer,
the average person
it goes faster. Now, but that's not easy. The easing is that I want it to go from maybe, I want it to start slowly and end fast. I want it to go fast and end slowly. So still like this.
the average person
It's just
now
moving slowly like this. I can now just, you can look at this arrow here, this drop down here, where I can click this and you can see it works. It shows me velocity. So how fast I want these keyframes to go. And this is where I can now adjust how fast. You can see it's giving me like a mini graph here. So I'm going to select either of these keyframes or both. And once I selected it, in these keyframes, beneath this graph, some buttons appear. So I just expanded it so you can see it better. So you can see this button and this button. So, and it means if I should adjust this a little bit, it's showing me my speed options you get. And so I can either make this faster or slower. So let's say I drag this to the extreme. It means here is the peak point. It's going to come in fast from here and go slower. I can even adjust this to be like here. So let's go back. Once you look at this,
the average person now
you can see it just
the average person
it moves
the average
first,
person
then comes back up.
now
So that's what you do. But I think we messed it up with and it's almost going out of frame. So let's see if we can adjust this. Yeah, so let's be sure. Yeah, so
the average person
no, it's still not good. So
the average
we can always adjust.
the average person
Let's be sure. Okay, it's on our end. Let's
the
see.
average person
Yeah,
the
so
average
you can work on your easings like this. Maybe now
the average person
it looks like it went forward, it went faster at this pace.
the average person now
So, but let's say we want to delete this. Let's delete,
spends
reset again,
the
and
average person
move this. So we can just work on this,
now spends average person
and it goes faster and ends slowly. You get, so I think we can just, or we can even move this to the beginning and let's start from there again. So
the average person
now I think why most times it's looking like this bar is coming up is because we admitted both the position and the scale properties. So this is your graph. You can use it to do a lot of, you can just play with it, play around with it.
the average person
Instead of just it's moving just like in a streamlined version, just moving, you can adjust the velocity using these keyframes. Okay, so
the average person
you can see
the average person now spends
how it's going.
the average
You can, let's say, adjust this. So maybe it peaks at the middle here.
the average person
Yeah, this
The
is, we've adjusted this again. So let's see.
the average the average the average person
So we are on this. So
The average person.
that's basically all you need to know about your easing. You can also do this
The
for
average person.
you can also
The
do this for text, by the way. So you can even make this,
the average person.
just
The average.
adjust this a little bit, because if we saw
The,
our black bars, you're going out
the,
of, they're coming in when you're using it.
the average person now spends
So that's just one way to do it. So you can do this, and
7 hours a day.
I think that'll be all. So you can also do this for rotation, but most of the time you just do it for position and scaling properties. Okay, then you can, of course, you can. I think you could also even select this if you wanted us. If you wanted to, let's say, like delete this, yeah, and reset, and let's say we create the keyframes again, and
The average person.
move a little bit forward.
The average.
We could even select this option, right click, and look at the select one first, then click on this and choose ease in. It kind of eases in. Okay, you can see the graph, it does this. So it's
The average
moves
person
in
now
and
spends.
reduces and slows down, while you can do ease out for this. So
The average person.
then you cannot adjust this if you want to. All right, so
The average person.
same thing with scaling properties. I'll select which first one, and let's say Bezier. You can see how it goes. You can also do this for these two and do Bezier. And let's see how
The average
what it
person
gives
now.
us. So you see, then you can adjust all this. So it's a subtle thing. It makes
The average person.
it's like it kind of makes the difference between you just making static keyframes versus using it. Okay, it's a whole lot. I should have, if there, this is almost 1 hour, so I don't want to open up After Effects to show you how easing works, but it's really changes your game.
The average.
It helps your game. If you should do this for a text, if you should do this for a text, let's say Premiere Master Class, and you want to keyframe, like I told you, it also has this property. So, excuse me, you want to move from, let's say, left to right. So I'm going to keyframe here, then go back again, then move this. So
Person
instead
now
of it
spends
coming like
7
this,
hours a day staring.
you can make your keyframe just moving fast. Like instead of it coming, remember,
Person
coming
now
like
spends
this.
7.
You can just adjust and just take this up, and
Person now spends 7
you can
hours
see
a
how
day.
it was fast
Person
and
now
slow down.
spends 7.
Yeah, then if you move this a little bit, you'll see how you see the animation more properly. So
Person now spends
you can
7
see.
hours.
Yeah, then if you want also, you can adjust this, make it fast at the middle. You get, so at the middle. So let's see.
Person
It
now
comes in,
spends 7
goes
hours
faster,
a day.
becomes slower again. If you want, you can make this at the high point. Okay,
Person now spends 7 hours
so
a
you
day.
can see how it works. So it makes you, this is almost difficult, but
Person now spends 7 hours a day.
so I'm like, make it's slow here,
Person now spends
goes
7
up,
hours a
and
day.
it's slow again. So depending on what you want. So most times you might just work with the position property instead of it just being a static video
Person now spends
or a static
7.
animation. You can just maybe bump it up. Okay, so you can do
Person now
it
spends
moves
7
in
hours a
and
day.
it slows up. So that's just all you need to know about easings. You can do this for any other one. Okay, so you can scale. These are these scaling properties. Let's see.
Person now spends 7 hours.
So let's see. We can even do this.
Person now spends 7 hours a day.
You can see what happened. It became bigger. Or we can even Let's see if this is gonna work.
Person now spends 7
Small
hours
and
a
big.
day staring at.
So it's just left for you. It's a subtle thing, but it's very, very important. Just like it's a very important aspect of animation. Now it's basic in Premiere Pro, okay, but and it's okay. It's better you learn it now than waiting till you start working with the full animation, because it controls long how long your animation can wait before it comes into the picture, how long you want it to wait, if you want it to just come in slowly while other things are happening in your video before it now comes in eventually. Do you get? So it helps you to track the velocity a lot. So I think that's that for effect controls. Then finally, like I said, you can also add different things. You can add some other effects. Okay, we might not look at this now, but you can add a couple of effects. Maybe if you want to add more effects, any effect you add from here would also show here on this effect control. So there are fixed effects that come with every asset you import into Premiere, but there are also effects you can add manually, and it also shows up here. So for example, let's say we have this text in Premiere Pro, and let's say I want to change the text to, let's say, Montserrat, or let's use Bebas. Let's have Bebas. Let's do Bebas. I'm looking for a big font, a bold font. Let's just use this one. Regular, it's fine. I increase the size, and I want to add a track matte, for example. So I can add an effect called track matte. It just tracks. It's an effect which usually it tracks the transparency and the opacity of a subject. So okay, no, I add it to my video. So then I select. I'm going to use is track. It's called the track matte kit. You can see it's added into the effect controls. You get? So, and you can also delete it. You get? I don't think you can delete the motion properties of the fixed properties of your assets, but you can add this, and then I can track the video. I want the video to track this text. So wherever the text is, that's where the video would be. Basically, then my video is under V2, under channel 2. So I can just select this, click on V2, and bam, voila. You see my what do you call it? My text. So she's tracking. The text is now showing anywhere the text is where the video shows. So it's just an effect, okay? So, but it shows up this way. You can do the effect on your effects control. So you can add any that you want to add, okay? And that's just how it is. So you can increase the text if you want to. I'm just tickling your fancy, okay? So you can, if you do more, the bigger it is, the more. So you can even start, and you can not even keyframe this.
The average person now spends 7 hours.
So you can see. So that's just how it is. So if you have any questions, let me know. I think we're done. For your assignment, I honestly don't know what to give for assignment. So if I come up with something, fine. If I cannot, I'll come up with something. Definitely. You have to do an assignment on this, so you don't forget most of this. But the lesson is kind of fun on its own. So most times you have to just practice and practice. But your assignment will still be to use something like this. Okay, use this video or any other video I give to you. So I hope this helps you, and see you in the next class. Bye.